Welcome to GeoTactile Solutions training video covering the Project Manager for GeoJot Plus. In Project Manager, it allows us to create new projects, organize existing projects, and share those projects with other users. So let's begin. We go in by clicking on the Project Manager tab. In here we'll have a list of all of our projects. We have our project name, the created on date, the last updated, the photo count, whether or not it's a template for us, as well as some tools. So if we look at a project a little bit closer here, we'll see this Escambia project has got a plus next to it. That means we've created some outputs for that particular project. And by clicking on that plus, we can see what we've created in the past. Now if we click on one of these, by double clicking on it, it'll bring up the project here. And here is the PDF document for this particular project. Or we can go ahead by clicking the eyeball here, and that'll open up the project as well. And here's the KMZ file for this particular project, which will open up Google Earth and fly us into that area. Now, in any one of these files, we have some tools associated with that. And here we can go ahead and attach that particular file to an email. We can zip it and then maybe share it to the cloud, like Dropbox, for instance. So that zip file could be very large, or it could be emailed. We can also open up the folder where everything is contained. And here, if I change the display here, we'll be able to see all the different files that are already created under this. We could grab any one of those and share that as well. Now if we collapse this and we look at the overall project again, we'll see here the tools are similar. We can open up the project folder. We can zip the whole project, and this file would be rather large, assuming we've got a fair amount of photos with it. And we can also share this particular project as a template. And by doing that, we attach it to an email or create a zip file, and we send that off. Now our fellow users or colleagues can also use that as a template. Instead of opening up the whole project, this sends a template file to have all of our settings sent over to them. Now when we talk about templates, any previously created project can be used as a template for a new project by simply checking the box in that project's row. When you create a new project, you'll be asked whether or not you want to use a template. So here, if we go up to New, you'll see here, these are all the templates that we have currently selected. And they're showing up here. The default template is just that. That's how the program GeoJot comes to you with some default settings. But as you decide to change your settings, you want to go ahead and use that as a template. And you may have several that you want to use. So selecting the template so that all of your watermarks, your output selections, and output settings can be used for future projects. And once you choose a new template you want, import your photos, edit any attributes, and click the Create Output button. And your output will be the same format with the same background maps, icons, watermarks, etc. as it was in a template project. And as I mentioned earlier, you can share those project templates so that other people in your organization can use the same templates without having to copy the entire project. Now, a few more things here. We can group our projects by clicking this button here. And again, this is going to group all of our projects by the folder that they are stored in. In this case here, we've got 4 projects that are stored in the federal GeoJot project output folder. And here is an insurance GeoJot output folder. It has several projects there. And unchecking that brings us to the flat screen as well. We have a few buttons up top here. We can either choose to edit this particular project by clicking the edit button here, which will open it up. I'll close that down again here. or I can double click that project to open it up. Same result. Again, we can click on New to create a new project. We can copy a project. So I have the Escambia here highlighted. I can copy that project. And when I do so, it'll copy the entire project so that we can make changes to that without actually making changes to the original project. And with that, we can also move that if we'd like. So here it starts in the military projects folder, and maybe we want to move that over to the federal projects folder. And now when we see this, when we do our group folders, we'll see that we have a copy of the federal, the Escambia in the federal here. We can also delete a project. And of course we'll get a warning making sure that that's what we want to do. We can also rename, and we can include or exclude it from our hard drive. So if we include it, that means it's going to be visible in all of our project folders here. If we exclude it, we won't see it in our project folders anymore. In other words, it'll be hidden, but it will still reside on the hard drive. The only way to get it off the hard drive is to actually delete it. And that concludes our brief tutorial on the project manager. We'll see you next time.